Welcome back to your mat. Thank you for being here. I wanted to share with you today 3 poses that I do that help me sleep and that I consider self-care poses. So you'll notice I have quite a few props next to me. One of my favorite props to have is an eye pillow, and if you're not sensitive to scent, a couple drops of lavender on an eye pillow are really nice. I'm using a sateen fabric that's really soft. You can use cotton or anything that you like, and inside my eye pillow are, I believe, flaxseed. You can use buckwheat or dry peas or anything like that. And if you don't have an eye pillow, you can fill a sock. You can get an old sock or a mismatched sock, fill it up with anything actually. You can fill it up with sugar or salt in a plastic bag, and then slide that plastic bag in the salt or sugar or dry peas or flaxseed, anything you like. Slip it inside the sock, and then you can use that as an eye pillow. So that makes a really nice quick shift eye pillow. I've also got a strap for one of my poses, and you can use a skipping rope or a dog leash or anything like that. I also have a blanket for comfort, and I have a big bolster. So you can use a cushion from your couch or a big pillow, or if you have any of those long body pillows, those are really great. And here's some poses that I like to do to help me get ready for relaxation to sleep, or if I'm feeling really anxious or stressed out, I use it as a way to calm myself. So my first and most favorite pose is child's pose. And because I'm in a larger body, or I have a larger body, sometimes this pose can be uncomfortable. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips that maybe will help this pose be a little more accessible. So I'm going to start with my blanket, and I like to put it, make a roll with it to put underneath my ankles if you feel like a lot of pressure on your feet is uncomfortable. You can fold your blanket in half with the fringes together and in half again, and then just roll it into a roll. So it doesn't have to be a big roll, but something that's sizable that you can put underneath your feet, and of course you can unroll it to whatever height that you want. I'm going to just unroll mine about halfway, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of my mat. With my big pillow or bolster, I'm going to lay on that bolster as my relaxation. And you can also make your bolster higher by stacking blankets on top or putting another pillow on top. So you'll now notice I'm in hands and knees position, and I'm putting the roll underneath my ankles. For me, that helps alleviate some of the pain that I sometimes feel when I'm leaning on my ankles. Also, another thing way you can use this roll is to place it behind your knees. Okay, that's another way. So those two ways that you can use the roll to help make your child's pose a little more comfortable. And then take the big bolster and place it lengthwise along your mat. Bring your knees out as wide as the bolster, and then bring your bolster just between your thighs. Now I'm sitting back with the blanket underneath my hips, and I'm going to keep my bottom planted there. I'm going to slowly lower myself down. Okay? And if there's space between your bottom and your ankles, then the bolsters or a blanket's a nice prop to put there to help you just close the gap and find relaxation. And you can stay here for 5 or 6 breaths, however long that this feels good to you. But this is one of the ways that I just relax. You can also place a blanket or a pillow on your low back if you want a little bit more added, sensation there. And you can play with that. And then I take 5 or 6 breaths here and just allow myself to relax. And then if I'm doing one side of my head, I turn my head to the other side for the same amount of time. And then you can even place your face down on the bolster if that feels right for you. So that's one way that I come to self-care relaxation, or I use this to help find calmness before I go to bed. Another pose that I like to do for self-care or relaxation is to come to a supported Baddha Konasana. Now, supported Baddha Uttanasana, we use our strap. So what I've done is I've created a large loop in the strap. Okay, so it's almost probably the expanse of my knees are a little bit bigger. And I'm going to slide the strap over my head and bring it around my waist. Then with the buckle of the strap, I'm going to hook it around my feet. So this is a good place where you can adjust the strap if it doesn't quite reach to the feet. And once it reaches to the feet, just bring it right to the ankles, the outside of the feet. And then what I do is I like to just tighten the strap for support. Okay? So you can make it as tight or as loose as you want. Then, if you feel comfortable, or you need a little bit more support, you can take blocks and place it right underneath your knees for a little bit more support. And when you're ready, you can lay back on your bolster. Now, if you have a sensitive back and this doesn't feel good, then lay flat on the floor instead of using the bolster, because this gives you a big curve in your spine. Or you can bring the butt, the bottom of the bolster, closer to your sacrum, and then turn your palms up to the sky. And then you can take 10 breaths right here. The beauty of this particular pose is that it opens the shoulder and it opens the hips. And then of course you can take your eye pillow and just place it across your eyes. This is a nice place to stay for relaxation. You can set a timer and stay here for a few minutes, or you can find a rhythm of breath where your exhalations are longer than your inhalations, and that can be a way that you can come to relaxation. So your third and final pose is called a supported Shavasana. So you can come up, release the strap and the blocks, and then you can just place the bolster right underneath your knees. This is what I love. This is my favorite way to take a Savasana practice. I use the extra roll for underneath my neck, and I also get to use my eye pillow. So you can just bring the roll right underneath your neck. Make sure that the bolster is right underneath your thighs and the folds of your knees are slowly folding over the bolster. Blanket, you can also use just a rolled up blanket. And then you can place your eye pillow, arms out to the side, and relax. So this is my final pose. And I find that this is really a delicious place to be. And you can set a timer, set relaxing music, and take a few minutes just to enjoy being still. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm going to hang out here for a bit. Namaste.